So I wound up talking to this one pretty young thing on Valentine's Day, and we wound up becoming an item until she found out about April, so she chose to March. Now, I bet you guys are wondering, TheCaliEffect, that has nothing to do with anything. And actually, it does. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a sequence, ladies and gentlemen. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, all the way to December has a new meta, new strategies, new things that can always be discovered. Now, my misfortunes with the ladies shouldn't deter you from being a better Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. And today, I'm going to be giving you guys the 5 underrated strategies for this format. See, I told you I could tie it all together. I'm TheCaliEffect, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, then go and destroy that subscribe button. But more importantly, go ahead and that notification bell because, well, we just too strong. Also want to give a special thanks to every single one of my Patreons. Without you guys, videos like this would not be possible. And also a mad shout out to our newest Patreon, Brendan McKenna. Welcome to the clan. Make sure you add yourself to that Discord as well as message me or Jest so we can get you in the top dog so you can take advantage of all your rewards. While we're here, also want to say if you guys want to find more TheCaliEffect content that is not Yu-Gi-Oh! Then add me on Instagram. I'm telling you, workouts insane. We too crazy. Without further ado, I present to you the top underrated strategies for the March 2019 format. So every time I think of number 5 on this list, I think of the king of pop, Michael Jackson, and he had this amazing song. I don't know if you youngins have ever heard Michael Jackson. You probably should hear Michael Jackson if you haven't, but he had this song called Thriller, and it was really exciting to watch. It's literally like watching a movie. I urge you guys, if you haven't watched it, which is a little scary that you haven't, to go and watch it. But basically, if you guys haven't caught on what I'm talking about zombies and their applications to the meta. Look, Zombie World has never been better than now. It seriously can cripple so many decks. Its ability to turn any monster on the field and graveyard into zombies is critical for stopping certain strategies. Like, for example, Thunder Dragon wants to mess with Thunder monsters. Well, they're zombies now. Salomon Great wants to mess with Salomon Greats, or Cybers, but, well, they're zombies now. This card can be really critical, especially players that want to play There Can Only Be One. This deck, Zombies, you can build it in the way where it isn't critical or being hurt to There Can Only Be One, but with Zombie World face up, your opponent's probably going to want to put multiple monsters on the field, and now they're all zombies, so they can't play around it. This deck can. Also, we haven't even talked about the Big Daddy boss. I mean, seriously, before I get back into it, imagine Doom King Ballardrock doing the Thriller dance. Seriously, imagine it. It's like crazy. Zombie Master doing it? Crazy. Mizuki, any of them, like imagine a whole row of the zombie monsters, the iconic ones doing the Thriller dance. All right, I digress, but still, back to the point at hand. Doom King Ballardrock allows you to activate its effects every time a zombie monster, cough cough, you have Zombie World on the field, so every time a monster effect activates, you can negate the activation of that monster effect, or you can banish a card on the field, and then you start to think about it like, hey, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring and Ghost Bell are zombie monsters that are pretty prevalent inside of the meta. Maybe Doom King Ballardrock will have some sort of utility even with Zombie Worlds off the field, even though it's best to have Zombie World on the field. Ballardrock, Zombie World, Mizuki, this deck's really good. I wouldn't sleep on it, and it can definitely give a lot of the tier 1 decks some problems. Number 4 on this list. Oh man, it has been 2 years. It's literally, I've checked, it's been 2 years and this deck is still viable. I remember when it first came out, I was really excited about it because it looked insane. Like, it brought all of the previous archetypes together inside of their armor and everything, and it looked really cool. And like 2 years later, it's still the same thing. True Draco really hasn't changed. I mean, for a deck that costs maybe about $50 to $100 for the entire thing, the deck does what it does really well. Now, I know you guys, a lot of people have been saying Masterpiece being banned has definitely killed the deck, and I couldn't say that you couldn't be less of the truth. While Masterpiece was a critical part in the old True Draco, the new True Draco is still that same anti-meta deck, using its trap cards to destroy your opponent's monsters, also to reduce their attack or spell summon a monster to your side of the field, also give you the ability to tribute summon monsters on your side of the field on their turn. the deck is just good, ladies and gentlemen. It's not really much else to say. And if there was more to add to it, its spell cards allow you to recur resources as well as destroy opponent spells and trap cards. Now, I bet you guys are wondering, where does True Draco have its applications inside of the meta? Well, there are a lot of back row heavy decks that True Draco literally just doesn't care about. All that back row heaviness you was doing, True Draco does not care about. They activate their spells, they tribute their spells, they summon their monsters, they proceed to destroy your back row. Another thing that True Draco finds itself immune to is negate boards. And a lot of players have been playing a lot of, oh, summon, I have infinity negates. Well, True Draco really doesn't care, especially since it can utilize the Monarch Stormforth even better than Monarchs. The deck is really good, and it has a very good spot in the meta. I wouldn't sleep on True Draco, the cheap, effective deck that could run any level event, if you ask me. Number 3 on this list, oh my god, we're gonna dig back even deeper to 2017. I can't even remember, maybe even 2014-ish. When actually, yes, it had to be 2014 when this card or when this archetype debuted, but it didn't gain popularity until maybe the Zoo format. So 2017, that's where I felt that it was at its strongest. But Infernoid is insane, ladies and gentlemen. This deck can actually set up multiple negate boards. Like double to triple Decatron is kind of problematic, seeing that you can send cards like Infernoid Deviati and Onuku to the graveyard to be able to gain access to negate your opponent's monsters and spells or traps. But more importantly, you get to banish those cards, so they're pretty much not coming back against a lot of the decks. And I also forgot to mention that those back row heavy and monster heavy decks, this Infernoid strategy actually has the ability to summon heavy storms to the side of the field or make dark holes within an instant. The deck is pretty good if you were actually using cards to prevent your opponent from summoning an extra deck. Well, Infernoid doesn't need the extra deck. I mean, it can use the extra deck, but it don't need the extra deck. Its big monsters come from within. Now, there is a small problem with Infernoid fixing the ability to get multiple Infernoids in the graveyard, but I have a strong feeling that Void Feast kind of fixes that. And if you mix it with a layer of darkness, now you can even tribute your opponent's problematic threats to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So literally, if you wanted a walking heavy storm kaiju monster, then yeah, Infernoids might be where you're looking for. And if I were to add icing on top of the cake, this format is very graveyard reliant, and Infernoids, most of them just all happen to be DD Crows. So yeah, let that sit. Infernoid is like stupid underrated right now. They have DD Crows, they contribute your opponent's monsters, they have Dark Holes and Harpies, or not Dark Holes and Harpies Feather Dusters, but I have Dark Holes and Heavy Storms inside of the deck, and they're just really, really powerful. They can take advantage of some of the most powerful virus cards, Cough Cough Eradicator Epidemic Virus, so I would not sleep on Infernoids. Number 2 on this list, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa, this deck brings a tear to your eye because it's another one of those oldies that just seems to stay relevant or underrated in my opinion. Cyber Dragons will only get stronger when Dual Power comes out in April. They get their new Cyber Dragon monster that allows them to play Yu-Gi-Oh! For even longer, possibly even OTK just a little bit easier. But until then, you can play the same Cyber Dragon deck you've pretty much been playing for since Cybernetic Horizon has came out. Just the fact that the opponents are still very extra deck reliant, and Cyber Dragon just uses one monster to break the card out of the main monster or the extra monster zone, and then you can proceed to OTK your opponent with your other card. Cyber Dragon is very, very good, ladies and gentlemen, and if that wasn't enough, the deck still has Cyber Dragon Infinity on its side, being able to have a negate on your side of the field, or just being able to OTK your opponent with Chimera Tech, Rampage Dragon, and destroy your opponent's vital spells and trap resources. This deck, while extra deck reliant, does have the ability to work really fast and play quite a bit of hand traps if you decide to play it. I would not sleep on Cyber Dragons because it has Exceed summons, it has Link summons, it has Fusion summons, and more importantly, it can get rid of some of your opponent's biggest threats while not even trying. Cyber Dragons are a deck to play and are pretty good against the meta. Number 1 on this list is a deck that where I just like literally, I have to massage my temples because it's 2019 and boys still don't know how to play this deck. They still don't understand what it is. Well, allow me to introduce you to possibly one of the strongest pendulum decks to have ever existed. And I know I'm saying that, you're like, what? It's not Pendulum Magician. It could just very well be Zephyra. Zephyra has the ability to pendulum summon twice. Yes, you guys just heard me. It can pendulum summon twice in one turn. Will you pop that off? No. But it also has the ability to FTK. Is that FTK consistent? Scarily, it could be. And then the next thing about it is that it can still plow out those same negates that the other pendulum deck can do, except it does it in a different way. It doesn't necessarily need the extra deck to plow out negates, and it's a little bit more search heavy, so you can gain the advantages of being able to get whatever you need. It has very unique perspectives. It can hand loop your opponent. It can make true kings of all calamities, and even more importantly, it's not super pendulum reliant, so you can play hand traps in here. So like, yeah, literally Zephyra is everything you want inside of a pendulum deck, except different. It does things awkward. It does things a little bit in a different pace, but yet it still does things like Pendulum Magician wants to, and it can still make those negate boards. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like, and if you didn't, let us know down below in the comment section what we could do to be better. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great day like I am.